Hello, my name is Sebastian Mielko, and I'm going to give a introduction to our application called GearTurn. So it's a web application, and you'll start at the landing page, which is our home page, and you'll get a short welcome to our website, as well as highlights that features. You can learn about our motorcycle recommendations, learn about the features in a motorcycle. You can compare motorcycles head to head and view our current library. We also give motorcycles of the week. These will be four motorcycles that the Gear Turn team recommends. And if you click on one, it'll bring you to that motorcycle. And also what's cool is we have our very own bike library up at the top. Here, we can pull all the data from our database and see all the different bike models that GearTurn currently has to offer. And at the top here, we have our filter. So our filter can be done through year, manufacturer, as well as different types of motorbikes, such as touring, standard, cruiser, sport, off-road, adventure, and scooter. We also have different metrics that you can filter on, such as displacement, horsepower, and torque. For now, I'm just going to filter off of the bike category of sport. And what'll happen is um, the application will automatically remove results that don't match the filter's criteria. And here we're only displaying bikes that are under the category of sport. And likewise, we could mess around with horsepower or torque, and it'll change which results are being shown. And as we increase and decrease the horsepower range, less spikes will be displayed, and that'll allow our users to really narrow down what motorcycles they will be looking to compare. What's also nice about this comparison screen is when a bike is listed, we have in the columns we have compare and we have an addition button. And what this does is we have a floating chart of bikes, and when you click on it, it will display that bike, and the web application will actually store information about that bike, so then our users can easily compare and kind of shop around. And we're able to do that with four different bikes. So the website's powerful enough to allow the user to really compare whichever bikes that they're interested in. And another nice thing about this bike library screen is we have different tabs that you can focus on, such as manufacturer, year, and category. And you can also collapse them all. We also have pagination on our um, on our list, so that way the user isn't flooded with a bunch of information. And as this list will be populated, there'll be more and more bikes for our users to compare. And that is a quick introduction to our bike library page. You can also click on different bikes, and this will give you the full information, both graphically and in text. So you can see up top speed, horsepower, torque, dry weight, and power to weight. These are useful metrics when comparing different motorcycles. We also give information about chassis, um, the engine, which type of engine it has, the cooling and dimensions. These are all different information that you can use to compare bikes, and more experienced users can know right off the bat what those specifications would mean to you. As well as we have a logo signifying what kind of bike this is. So this 2024 Beta R48, sorry, 480 is an adventure bike. Um, and from this screen, we can also return to our bike library. So our application actually has multiple ways of navigating through itself. So you can see that return to bike library is now under compare motorcycles. So there's multiple ways for our users to navigate through, and that nav bar is constantly at the top as well if the user wants to use that.
So, hello, my name is Shego Vehicle. I'll be explaining our articles, comparison, and glossary pages. So now that we have populated our comparison window, which of course we can remove and add on the fly with a maximum of 5, we can now navigate to our comparison page either by clicking on here, clicking the compare motorcycles button, or going straight to the top bar. So I'm going to use this button for now. And you'll notice that all of the bikes have been populated onto our comparison list. And of course, it shows all of the specs that we see in the individual bikes, except it shows them head to head. This way, you can see directly how the bikes compare to one another. So based on here, you can see that the BMW S1000 completely destroys the other bikes in terms of just pure metrics. Of course, you can go down to see their written metrics, chassis, engine, and dimensions, but compared side by side to see which bike has the features that you're looking for, making it much easier to filter down and get exactly the kind of specs and motorcycle that you are looking for. And the best part is, if you remove items from the list, it changes them on the fly. So I can also go in and select the bikes from this relatively rudimentary selection bar, which is just a nice clean way to get more items on the list. However, if you want to have a more robust filtering system, you can go straight back to search bikes using our floating bar over here and add the bikes based on your filtration. And of course, if you try to add too many bikes, our list will let you know that that is no longer allowed with a nice shake animation. Same thing is true actually when you try to overexert the pagination on the filter page. So that's our comparison tool. Next, we have articles. Articles are just simple written articles by members of our team to explain various topics or motorcycles or discuss various, items that helps the reader choose the right motorcycle for them. So we have this article, Welcome to Gear Turn. We have our splash image, title, category, author, and date, as well as the info, and of course, the sliding carousel of various articles. So we can go and see different articles on the fly, and it updates the page. So the sliding carousel is also on our main article page. Now, if you want to check out the glossary, you can navigate either from here on our article page or directly through the nav bar. The glossary basically breaks down definitions and terms that are relevant towards understanding motorcycle and how their specs affects your riding experience. So right now we have definitions for different engine configurations from parallel twins to V4s to transverse twins. We have definitions on horsepower, displacement, torque, and weight, and how all of those things can affect your riding experience. And of course, these are much use the same file structure as articles, so you can click on them to see the see basically the information in more detail. So this has been a quick overview of our Project Gear Turn website that we have developed. We developed this application with the idea of helping beginner motorcyclists get into the hobby much more easily in a more accessible manner. We basically created our data to make it almost foolproof so that users have all of the tools that they need to choose the right bike. So if we see too frequently people get mismatched with the wrong bike, that can lead to them falling out of the hobby or sometimes lead to their death. We're hoping that this tool will help basically expand the motorcycle community and, of course, potentially save some lives. So, thank you very much for your time. And this has been Team Gear Turn. Have a great day.